What's up, Urban Acolyte Army? My name is Prince, and I'm an Urban Acolyte. In this video, I'm going to give you guys my initial impressions after seeing Solo, a Star Wars story. I just got home from seeing the movie. I got a lot I want to say, and it's going to be hard for me to talk to you guys about this movie without giving up any spoilers, because there's a lot to talk about here. If you're new here, I call this thing we do geek culture with a purpose. When I was a kid, I wanted to grow up to be Bruce Leroy and Luke Skywalker. So I talk about Star Wars, comic book movies, and martial arts TVs and shows so that we can take those lessons from our favorite movies and use those in our daily lives as we train to become just like the heroes from our favorite stories. So let's get back to Solo, a Star Wars story. Now, I had a feeling going in that I was going to like this movie. I will admit that when we first got word that there was going to be a Han Solo standalone movie about a young Han Solo, I wasn't really that enthused about it. I said, well, it's more Star Wars. It'll probably give us the origin of Han Solo, and maybe they'll do it in a creative way where it's a story that has other people involved, but it also gives us the origins of Han Solo, how he met Chewie, maybe something about the Millennium Falcon. We might get something about Han doing the Kessel Run in under 12 parsecs, that kind of thing. I don't want to get into any spoilers, but I will say that, well, we kind of got a lot of that stuff. So we learn how Han got the name Han Solo. We learn a lot about the Millennium Falcon over the course of the movie. The rivalry with Lando Calrissian, we see the origins of that, and we get a lot. We get more than what we bargained for, and the trailers do not do this movie justice. Just like with The Last Jedi, this is going to be a theme moving forward with Star Wars. If all you did was watch the trailers and think you know what this movie is going to be like going into it, well, what did Luke Skywalker tell us? This is not going to go the way you think, right? So one of the things that I noticed early on in the movie is the influence that Dave Filoni has had on all of these projects, right? 15 minutes into the movie, this is not going to be a surprise, but when it starts out on Corellia, I'm seeing things and I'm like, yo, man, doesn't this kind of remind me of this thing from the Clone Wars or this thing from Rebels and these things, when you think about Rebels, you think that they did this animated series and it was a nod back to Ralph McQuarrie's designs. And it's an amazing time that we're in because one, we can now see the things that Ralph McQuarrie dreamed up a long time ago, and they can put those on the big screen and on the small screen and make them look good. Make them look the way Ralph McQuarrie may have envisioned them way back when, 40 years ago. And that's awesome, right? There's more I want to say about Rebels and the Clone Wars, like maybe some characters that we saw in the Clone Wars, and then we saw them again in Rebels, and it's like, oh, I wonder what they were doing in between that time, in that 15, 16, 17 year gap, but when we last saw them in the Clone Wars and Rebels. But I'm not going to say much about that, right? Because that would be getting into a huge spoiler, and man, There were things in this movie like nods and Easter eggs, and it was awesome, right? And I gotta point this out. I don't know who this lady was, but like over the course of the movie, there's like little things being dropped, and the lady who was sitting next to me in the movie in the theater where I went, like me and her were like laughing at everything, and we're like, wait a minute, did they just say, oh, snap, right? Like me and her were the first two that were getting it at everything. And she was incredibly hot. I'm not really into blondes. And I kind of have this funny thing about like dating white women. It's not like a racist. It's more like racist people are the reason, racists are the reason that I'm like afraid to date white women, even though the last woman I dated was white. and I had issues with that just because racism sucks, and it affects us in weird ways. So white women, if you're hot and you're really into Star Wars, you know, you might have to throw your brother a bone. You might have to throw your boy a bone, you know, if you're trying to holler, because I'm gonna be hesitant with that one. You gotta let me know. Like Tevin Campbell said, tell me what you want me to do. But she got all of this, and that's a shout out to all the boycott Solo people, right? Y'all keep boycotting Solo, because the rest of us geeks who were going to see this movie, there were a lot of women there, right? Hey man, y'all might get some Lando and some Lando and Kira, some Lando and Han action going on, right? You might get up on some of that. The only other thing I want to say, the big takeaway from this, without getting into too much, is that there were a lot of women like talking about Kira after the movie. Kira really stole the show. Emilia Clarke was awesome. Kira's character is going to raise a lot of questions. When you leave this movie, if you're like the people who were at the theater where I was, there's going to be a lot of interest in Kira. And it's not just because of Emilia Clarke's portrayal of her, even though she was awesome. She was awesome, but there's some, I don't feel like this is a spoiler. This movie adds to the lore, the established lore from that period in time. And Kira plays a big part in a popular character. I think I said too much. The idea that there could be a Han Solo trilogy, after you see this and you understand what I'm talking about and where I'm going, as far as this adding to the lore, adding to things that went on in the galaxy outside of what's going on with the Empire and the rebellion, right? Things that could possibly reintroduce a Boba Fett, right? Because a member of Boba Fett's gang is teased in this, and then Jabba is kind of teased in this, and oh shit, I think I'm telling y'all too much, which means I need to end this video. I'm tired and I'm talking too much, right? I'm just gonna say, if it turns out that there's gonna be more of this, more of because I want to know more. Like this leaves you salivating. One of my friends, he's not even a part of the press, but somehow he saw this movie on Monday, right? And he told me the ending was anticlimactic. Bro, I love this dude like a brother, but bro, man, you were so wrong on that. You were so wrong on that, man. Like I sat there, and I wanted to like see the credits because I wanted to see some things in the credits. There aren't any posts. I mean, you know, this isn't a Marvel movie, but like I kind of sat there like, it's like, yo, I need to like decompress, because my eyes were like this watching the whole movie. And then it was like, yo, man, I need to take this all in and kind of let my brain just let the foam, like when you pour a beer and it's all the foam, like I need to let the foam settle down so that we can get to the real thing, right? We can get to the essence, right? And I still feel like I'm like decompressing. I think I need to sleep on this for a bit and then talk about Solo some more tomorrow. So those are really my thoughts. There was like one more thing that I wanted to say, but I can't remember what it is because I'm tired. I've had a long day and I'm ready to just get this video posted and go to bed, right? But I loved it. If you saw it tonight on opening night, without getting any spoilers, you know, let me know your initial thoughts down below. And if you're waiting to see it later, does this make you more excited to see this movie? Or do you just feel like, you know, whatever, I don't care about Han Solo and they can add whatever they want to the lore. I don't give a... Oh, yeah. The other thing I wanted to say was this whole Lando is pansexual got blown completely. I want to, like, even though people are sick of me talking about the topic, like after having seen the video, I really want, because the movie, now I really, because now it's like I understand, like, the way they show Lando as a pansexual, Anakin is freaking pansexual too, right? Because he's got an attachment to R2 and C-3PO and an emotional attachment to Ahsoka. So it's not necessarily a sexual attraction. It can also be emotional as well. So, I mean, Lando was Lando, and I mean, Childish Gambino was excellent, but Lando was kind of a bitch in this movie. Like, Lando, you a bitch, man. Like, and I'm saying that, but y'all know that I have never been a fan of Lando Calrissian, ever. So, you know, if they did make Lando gay, it wouldn't affect me anyway, because I never liked Lando. I never really cared for the character. Donald Glover was excellent, but I mean, it was like, man, Lando's a bitch, right? And you'll understand when you see, like, I'll have to talk about that in my full review, and I'm gonna actually sit down and start writing on that tomorrow. So check back for that later in the weekend. And like I said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I talked way more about this movie than I thought I would, so I'm gonna go with that one. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead, click on that subscribe button and take your first steps towards joining the Urban Acolyte Army. Embark on the journey of becoming the hero of your own story and become a force for change in your community. Continue to support the channel. You can do that by checking out more videos on this channel. And you can also do that by sharing this video with people who are interested in the Solo Star Wars story. So that's all I got for this one. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Y'all keep on breathing, and may the force of others be with you always.